One. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Storytime with Suit and Tie Gamers, man. I hope you guys have been enjoying all the stuff we have to provide on our channel. This is something I just kind of came up off the top of my head. I wanted to be able to play a game and tell you guys about all the craziest things I've ever done, so you guys can get to know me a little bit more and get to know what I'm really about and what I do. So, this story was actually one of the first and, craziest things that I've ever done. It was, a while back, a few years back, but this is the first time I ever got high. Now, I will admit, the first time I ever got high, I was skeptic to do it. I was probably 15, 16, I don't remember, but, I sat down one day, because I was so against it, my little brother did it, and, he kept telling me, just go ahead. Yeah, it was my little brother. He just kept telling me, go ahead, try it, keep doing, give it a shot, because I was so against it. I was so mad at him for doing it. So one day I decided, this might not be a bad idea. It'll be pretty fun. So as soon as that happened, as soon as I convinced myself of that, me, my best friend Skylar, and my brother, we were on a mission to get it. Like everything we did, everything we were about, it was like, alright, we had to go get it, because we were staying the night at my dad's house. I didn't live with my dad at the time. I was living with my mom. So every once in a while, my dad, we would come over for the weekend, and he had, no rules. There was, no restrictions. Now, he didn't like us doing anything like that, but he wouldn't enforce anything. So, that was, the perfect opportunity for us to go do it. So we were looking around for somebody who would do it. We went back to the house, back to the house that I live at with my mom. And we were like, okay, where can we get some? And I think it was one of my brother's friends who said, we'll give you like $10 worth of weed or something. It was a long time ago. And they were like, okay. So, they traded off. They got themselves the weed. And, that was all fun. That was all dandy, everything like that. But we didn't know what to do with it after, or at least me and my best friend Skylar. It was going to be our first times ever doing it. We had no idea really. So we were at my dad's house, and it was about 9 o'clock at night. My dad was inside. He was always watching sports or doing something like this, just not paying attention. To be honest, he didn't care what we did. So we were out in the backyard, just chilling, sitting in the backyard, kind of away from the window so you couldn't see, but at the same time, we were able to peek over and see the window just in case he was coming. And it was in a little like a crayon box or something. Yeah, we put it in a crayon box. No, it was a baby glue bottle. That's what it was, like a little glitter bottle or glue bottle or something. And it was, it was just chilling. And we took it out, and the first time we smelled it, I was like, holy, it hurt my eyes. It was so heavy. Like, oh my gosh. It was probably the craziest smell I ever smelled, but it gave me like this little brain pop, and it was pretty funny. I had no clue. I was just excited by it. So we pulled out a lighter. We made a little homemade bong out of a water bottle and like one of those little bolts you would put for oh shit. One of those little bolts you would put to to rent, or with a wrench or something, just so we could circulate it and kind of pack it. And we did it like that. Ah, crap. And we had it in our hand, and we had no idea what to do. So we kind of just put the weed in a little bit and got ourselves a lighter, lit it up, and I took the first hit. My brother said, yeah, you can take the first hit, you can have it. So I was like, okay. So I took the first hit, and I breathed in probably decent. I didn't get it all the way in my lungs, because I was like, I just want to see what it's like first, because I never even smoked anything before that. So, I had it, kind of, coughed it out the way somebody would, doing it for the first time. I coughed it out. And, we passed it around. Sky went next, my best friend. Then it was me. Then it was my brother, sorry. And then it was me again. And this went on for about 2 or 3 rotations. And everything was fine. And I was like, what are you supposed to feel when you're high? Because this doesn't feel any different. I felt normal. And nothing was happening. And then before, like, it seemed like a split second later, out of nowhere, I cut out some time or something happened. All of a sudden, I was down. Like, I felt like my head was shoved down on my chest. I couldn't open my eyes, and everything was funny. Let me tell you, I was busting out laughing about everything. It was just hilarious. Like, it was... Oh, he's dead. It was hilarious, and we would just look at each other, we would smoke a little bit, and keep in mind, it was like $10 worth, so it wasn't a lot. Like, we kept the $10 worth going for like a good hour, which is that's pretty horrible, to be honest, but, we were doing it, and we were high out of our minds after like the second hit, to be honest, but we didn't realize it till, about four hits in, and, it was, It was something I never did before, but immediately I was like, this is hilarious. And eventually I would get paranoid, later on in life about doing it. And every time I did it, I would be paranoid as hell, and I wouldn't want to do it because I was afraid to get in trouble. But that night, I was not thinking about it at all. I had no clue what the heck was going on. I was just enjoying it. I was enjoying being able to laugh about anything. And we were just running around, just running around the backyard, crawling, walking, picking up sticks and breaking them, just to get our feet wet about it. And it was hilarious. What ended up happening, like I said, my dad honestly didn't care one way or another what we did. So we would just run around the backyard. My dad would think we're being stupid and not pay attention. There was no curfew when it came to that. He didn't care. He really didn't. And because of that, we would just run around, act like idiots. And me and Sky, my best friend, we were both high out of our minds. It was our first time. We never knew what we were doing. And we just kind of looked at each other at one point. We just kind of stared for about 10 seconds, trying to realize if we were really looking at each other or if our mind was just playing tricks on us. And I was just looking at him, and I'm like, oh god. And we just both started busting out laughing, and like, it was so funny to us. And my brother was just looking at us like with these wide eyes, like just like admiring nothing. And we were like, all right, we need to see if we remember anything tomorrow, because we always watch those movies where people don't remember what happens, Hangover and stuff like that. But this is weed. This is not like heroin or something like that. This was not like a heavy drug. So we kind of looked at each other and we said, we need to figure out a word, one word that's going to help us remember like what exactly we did, that night, and help us remember, if we could remember that word tomorrow, that means that we're not completely taken over. It was just funny. So the word was egg chair. The reason is because we always wanted an egg chair. Ever since I can remember, we wanted an egg chair. Oh, that was pretty clutch. In our room, because the egg chairs would just look sweet. They look cool. They were the thing of the early 2000s, I guess. I don't know, but I always wanted the egg chair. So yeah, we were like, egg chair. And then we would just sit there and just say the word egg chair over and over and over again and laugh every single time. Every single time we said egg chair, it was funnier than the last time. And we would just start busting out laughing. We were laying in the grass at that point, and at one point that night, my dad comes out. He slams open the back door. He's looking dead at us, and we're like, oh, we're caught. We're done for. My best friend Sky, he's never gonna see us again because he was already on bad terms with my dad. We were screwed because my dad, wouldn't want anything to do with that, and we were like, oh god, it's over, it's done. Too late, bye. And he looks at us and he's like, you guys want some dessert? And all three of us started busting out like we were laughing so bad. And keep in mind, he's from Poland. He has a very Polish accent, so he has a lot of food, and that Polish people always like to eat good stuff. Like, he always had good food at his house. So he's like, do you guys want some dessert? And we were like, okay, because usually he doesn't even let Sky over. He didn't let Sky over because he didn't trust him. But he was like, "You guys want some dessert?" So we went in, and for some reason the light made us feel like really awkward out. So we walked in and like we were squinting so bad, but the light was just average. It was just an average light. But since it was at night, the illumination from the room just seemed so bad, and like it was like the sun was glaring in our face, but it wasn't. And he was kind of handing us some Polish dessert. I forgot what it was, but we just ate some dessert and we chowed down on it. Ate so much of it, so much, like, oh my gosh. We ate more than he had, and then he carried around 2-liter bottles of soda all the time, so we go ahead and drink that. And the whole time we were just high out of our minds. We probably smelled like it too. We were saying dumb stuff. My dad was just kind of looking at us, but not in like a very nervous way. He was just kind of looking at us like not even asking what we're doing. He was just kind of seeing what we were doing. Like he was interested that all three of us were in the room. I guess that's the best way I can put it. And he says, "Do you guys want to just sit inside?" Now, he didn't let Sky have a sleepover, but he was implying, "Would you like Sky to have a sleepover?" So I was like, "No, we're okay. We'll go outside and walk a little bit." And it was probably about 10:42 at night, so we walked out, and we were on our own that night, and it was creepy. It was really weird because we lived about 1.5 to 2 miles away from the gas station, and the three of us just started walking. Now it's probably a 20-minute walk, give or take. It was like a 20-minute walk. But there was this one long road that's probably like a good mile from his house. And we were walking for a mile, and we were stumbling, tripping, pretending to fall on each other. Only when you pretended to fall on each other, we would actually fall on each other. So it got even worse with time. And we were just doing whatever we could, but the 20-minute walk felt like 2 hours. Like, I thought we were like walking the path of justice or something. It was insane. And we showed up, got inside the gas stations, and we were gonna go buy some snacks or do something, like get some Monsters and some candy. And we were walking up, and the guy, I was so scared to look somebody in the eyes. We were all three looking down, like 90-degree angle at the floor. Like our eyes were peeled to our feet, and we had all the candy, all the snacks. We placed them up on the thing. We gave him like a big dollar bill, like a big bill, probably like 100. Like just a straight 100, just slapped it on the ground. It was something from Christmas, I think. Or not slapped it on the ground, but slapped it on the desk, and just had all the snacks and everything. And they kind of looked at us, and the one guy asks, he's like, "You guys got the munchies?" And we broke our necks. We just looked up so quick, like because we were paranoid. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't even know we were high, to be honest. Like, we had no idea. And we just kind of said yeah, and he was like, "All right, cool." So he gave us like he gave us some of the stuff for free. Now, he made us pay for the rest of it, but he gave us most of it for free because it was like a small gas station. So we ran back, like we sprinted back home. Somehow we ran those 2 miles, and it felt like 30 seconds. Like, I swear, it was crazy. We sprinted back, and we were eating it and everything. We passed out outside. We didn't pass out inside. We passed. No. What happened was I had thought that I passed out outside. But really, we were just laying there because we were laying on the front, in his driveway, and we were looking at each other. It's like, "Do you want to go streaking?" Which, if you guys don't know what streaking is, it's where you run across the place butt naked. We're like, "Dare me to go streaking?" And we're just kind of looking at each other, and Sky was like, "Sure, bro, let's go streaking." And he got up, pulled up his pants really high because he didn't actually take them off or anything, and just started like running around, slapping his ass. And it was so funny, and like we would laugh to the point of like peeing ourselves, man. It was crazy. So we wake up the next morning. I think his grandma ended up actually picking him up real late at night, I don't know. She never found out that it was high, which is hilarious. But we woke up. First thing we do is text each other like, bro, because he lives where my dad lives, in Tampa, which is a few hours away from where I actually lived, and you know, we look at we text each other immediately when we wake up, and the first thing we said, egg chair. You know, we just said egg chair, and he responded with me saying egg chair, and that was insane for us because we were like, dude, this was the greatest night of our lives, and you know, smoking with him and my brother, having no worries. It was so much fun. It was crazy. Don't get me wrong. It was something that I never thought I'd do, you know, and we did a lot of schemes. I'm pretty sure everybody that smoked for the first time did a ton of schemes, you know, did a ton of crazy shit, you know, dysfunctional, really, but, like, it was just, like, it was unreal. It was not at all what I would expect. It was the feeling that I would expect. Like, I expected it to be as heavy as it was, and, like, as hit you as hard, but I didn't expect it to be that feeling necessarily. So it was crazy that, you know, that was the feeling that we got out of it. And you know, after that, we were so confident about it. It was so, we felt like badasses. We were like, okay, you know, we're the coolest kids ever. You know, we just smoked weed, man. We smoked weed, didn't get in trouble for it. You know, nobody cared. Everybody made it such a big deal, but it wasn't. And after that, like, I didn't think weed was such a bad thing. You know, before then I was really against it. I didn't think it was a bad thing afterwards. But, you know, with time, obviously, and responsibilities, it became something that, you know, shouldn't be done the way it was done before. And honestly, like, I don't mind weed per se. You know, I don't think it's a horrible thing. I don't think it's something that people should be, you know, like totally against, but be cautious about it. You know, if anybody's smoking weed now or thinking about maybe you should start or maybe you should try it, be cautious about it. There's a lot of mistakes that can happen. There's a lot of issues that can happen with it. It's fun. It's definitely fun. And if you're trying to have a safe night, you know, with some friends or something, then I'd say it's okay, but don't drive. Don't be out in public. Don't do anything, because it can be dangerous. It can get you in trouble, and, you know, it's still a criminal offense. So just be careful if you were choosing to do it. Like, for me, it had to have been one of my favorite memories ever, and really it was a bonding experience. If you ever want to bond with somebody, I'm not condoning weed, but I'm saying, like, if you're planning on if you're planning to do it, it is a good bonding experience, and it can really help alleviate some stress every once in a while. Don't do it as you would do it, you know, like religiously. You know, people who do it religiously, that's an issue, that's a problem. Like, that's a mental problem that you have to be able to fix. If you're addicted to it, you have to be able to get rid of that. That's not at all something, you know, get that checked out, get that fixed somehow, because, you know, once it takes a hold of your life, which it won't, but it's because it's not the drug that takes a hold of your life. It's the want to just keep doing the feeling, you know, just keep having that feeling. And that can be basically everything. But if you guys enjoyed this first talk, you know, story time with Suit and Tie Gamers, story time with Chris, the first time I got high, it's funny. I'm willing to do more of these videos. I have so many crazy stories, like, unbelievably. Like, I probably have the craziest stories that there's ever been. So if you guys want to see more, leave likes, leave feedback, leave comments, just leave, you know, anything. And without further ado, peace out and stay classy. Alright, we're good.